The very final next generation race car that Mattel will ever make as a 155 scale diecast is right here today, and I am absolutely in shock because I never thought I'd be able to get this guy, let alone two, and for very good prices too, might I add. So today I'll finally be able to review, you know who it is, of course, Jim Reverick, the Carbon Cyber next generation race car number 67. So welcome on back to the Cars Garage, everyone. Hope you're all having a great day. I certainly am. I just can't believe that Jim Reverick is here. This is obviously a very rare car, only released in late 2021, second last case of the year, case L, and never ever reissued again after that. And for whatever reason, I don't really know why, a lot of cars that are released brand new late in the year almost always get reissued into the following year, you know, at least for one or two cases. But this guy, not at all. This is just so cool, though. He is the next gen Carbon Cyber race car, obviously number 67, and he's just on immaculate card, too. Now, this one I actually got in, I think, like 2 years ago about. I think it was early 2022 I got him from a Greek eBay seller for a very good price, only $15. Then it came to about $35, I think, give or take, with the shipping and handling and everything like that, which is not a bad deal at all because it came all the way from Greece. And it is actually on international card, which is even cooler because obviously more rare here in Canada and, you know, would be in the US too. The big difference is really just like in the card back. Other than like that, it's really, the front is no different. But you can see that it only shows Jim Reverick on the back instead of, you know, a bunch of other cars and everything. And it's got his name in a couple other unique languages. I really don't know what languages those are. To be honest, I think maybe Chinese, Japanese, I don't know. But it came from Greece, so I don't know why it would be in those languages, but I don't know. Anyways, this one I'm not going to be opening today. I'm going to be opening up this one, which I just got in the mail today, and I couldn't be happier about it. It's not even on a great card, and I don't even care because I wanted to open this guy anyways, and if it came on perfect condition packaging, I probably wouldn't have wanted to open him, even though I have two now. But yeah, this one's actually on the American styled card, or just like standard card, I guess you can call it, Canadian, American, whatever it is. They sell it like this in both countries. I'm in Canada, as you probably know, so this would have been the one I would have found if I would have found this guy back in late 2021, but unfortunately I did not. It shows on the back as seen in Cars 3, with some other cars like Kurt, Sterling, Fusine Racing Tractor, J.D. McPillar, Pile Up, Jimbo, and Taco. And yeah, I did actually find his case L. I found it in late 2021, but unfortunately Jim was gone. What's funny is I also found case M at the same time, got to unbox the entire case in store, and Jim still wasn't there. So I found a boatload of awesome cars. Unfortunately, Jim was not one of them. But that's okay. Anyways, I want to open this guy up today. Not this one, I'm going to be opening the other one. But his artwork just looks amazing. Very, very nice. New for 2021 on the Desert Horizon packaging style. Love it. And yeah, this is just really monumental. I can't wait to dive right in. So without any further ado, let's open up our brand new Jim, which I got from Amazon, by the way, for only $23, which is a little more than I paid for the other one, but still insanely good deal because nowadays he's very rare. Goes for like over $100 on eBay, so still a steal. And this one, I don't know, kind of looks like a variant to me. The eyes almost look yellow and the number too. Hopefully it's not an, like, well, actually, I guess it'd be cool if it's an error. But I hope it's not just like from damage or something. I don't know, I can't tell. But anyways, yeah, without any further ado, let's crack this guy open and see how he looks. Alright guys, here he is, Jim Reverick. Very, very awesome looking out of the package, I gotta say. But, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of his windshield being that, like, almost yellowy color. It just doesn't really look great. It almost looks like he's a rusty old car like Mater. Like, because I could expect him to have something like that. He's actually supposed to. His windshield should be a little bit, you know, on the yellow side. But then the number 2, I don't know, that part just doesn't really look that great. Other than that, though, he seems like an outstanding diecast, so very, very excited to get into this video. And yeah, obviously, if you don't know, he is the Carbon Cyber Next Generation Racer, number 67. And unfortunately, I don't have anyone else from the Carbon Cyber Racing team because, well, it was a new Piston Cup sponsor that was introduced to us in Cars 3. They did do a stock car, but I did not have that one. It's Bobby Road Testa, and he was extremely rare, only in that, I think, a big 11 pack back in 2017. But I'll put a picture of him up on the screen for you guys just to refresh your memories, just in case you haven't seen him before. But he is kind of pretty similar to Jim. They share the same type of color scheme. Jim just has a lot more metallicness to his design, and the Tomica one I saw from online is even more metallic than this Mattel one here. Like all the green is metallic too, and it does look pretty nice. I like the expression that one has too, but it's not technically accurate. Only the blue parts should really be metallic. And yeah, before we dive right in, I do want to show you guys also where he appears at in Cars 3. We do get to see a few shots of him in the movie, but not really too much because he is just one of those background next gens. I do remember one time though when he's just strolling around the back lot, kind of where like the haulers are and everything. I remember we get to see him pretty nicely there, but other than that, doesn't appear too much. Anyways, yeah, I saw online that he is based off of the senior production assistant for Cars 3, Jim Roderick, I guess. So that's cool. I love when they name the cars off of people that actually worked on the film. And all right, well, let's talk about his design now. It's pretty awesome. I do love it. The green is very nice. There's a lot of green and blue next gens. I feel like I always say that a lot of the green and blue ones just kind of get lost in the sea, you know, get lost in the sea of the green and blue next gens. And it's true because there's a bit too many of them. I mean, look, we got Nick Shift here. We got a Fast Fong there. We got Noah Go Check. There's a lot of next gens that share that same color scheme, which is not really a bad thing, but it also kind of is because like it does make some of the more unique ones like Rich Mixon, Flipped Over, JD McPillar, like it makes them pop because they have more out there kind of colors like pink and purple. But I don't know. At the same time, just kind of lazy. Not on Mattel's fault, it's more on Pixar's part, I guess. But whatever. Anyways, very cool logo, very nice and modern, looking like a next gen logo. I don't really think they changed it too much from the Cars 3 stock car logo. I don't think, but maybe a little bit. It was a new brand in Cars 3 anyways, but like squared off, kind of like carbon text, and then the bottom is like a lower cyber text. And if you don't know, because I didn't know this until now, apparently Carbon Cyber is like an online bank, I guess, kind of like HDB, Chick Hicks's old sponsor. Well, I don't really get it because we already have Combustor, so they added in Combustor and Carbon Cyber. They're two brand new ones they added for Cars 3, new Piston Cup sponsors, and I just don't really understand the need for two banking companies racing as sponsors in the Piston Cup at once. Anyways, though, he's got the number 67 here on the side. The sides both seem to be the exact same, so yeah, it's a little unfortunate, but that's okay, I guess. Sometimes they do like to change the next gen, like the designs on the sides. Like this one would be different than that one. Not with Jim though. That's okay. And it's funny, look at that. The Piston Cup contingency sponsors that he has, they're the same as every other one. It's just funny because he has Carbon Cyber. That is his main sponsor, and he's also got it as a contingency sponsor. So that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But anyways, Piston Cup, Combustor, Carbon Cyber, and Synergy, all brand new Piston Cup sponsors that they introduced to us in Cars 3. And it's just funny how they never change for every single next gen, including Jazz and Storm. They're always the same. I just found that, I don't know, I've always found that very, very unrealistic. It doesn't really make any sense, you know? I don't get it, especially for Carbon Cyber. Really, you shouldn't have a contingency sponsor, being Carbon Cyber. It just doesn't make any sense. Why would they be paying themselves to put on their logo? I don't get it. Anyways, it's probably just Pixar. Maybe they didn't mean to do that for all of them, but then, I don't know, the movie got too late into production and they just kind of gapped it. Not really sure. Anyways, 67 on the sides. Technically, these silver lines here shouldn't really be going through the number. You could see on the artwork, well, I can't show you guys now, but you could before, that, yeah, they shouldn't actually be going through. So that is a mistake, but it's fine. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It's like covering up the ugly yellow number. It's not ugly, but it should be white. Same with the windshield, of course. As you see, I'm kind of trying to bypass the eyes in this review. Anyways, carbon cyber text on the bottom. Carbon's like all smushed together, and then cyber's like spread out. It's funny because it's kind of like the opposite on the big hood decal. And then I just love that metallic blue that he has in the back and on the top too. Wow, very reflective. I like it a lot. And it's cool the number is silver on top. It's not that creamy white color, so that's good. And the whole top is just completely metallic. The windows on this guy are not plastic inserted pieces. They are just metal, part of the main metal body. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't really like when they do that. I know a lot of people do. I'm not one of those people because sometimes it looks fine. Like Jim, it looks good. But Fast Fong, I don't know. Like when the windows are darker, I just feel like it looks not that great. I kind of prefer, like, let me find one. I only got one here with the plastic inserted windows, and that Sheldon shifter here. I just think that looks a bit better. I know they didn't paint it in the window bars, so they should have done that. But this is an older Sheldon shifter from Thailand. I don't know. I just think it looks a bit better. They've always struggled with the next gen windows for some reason. I don't know. They started off just making them plastic, and then they never put on the window bars. Then they fixed it. They put on the window bars, but they didn't paint them. And then I feel like 2021 is when it probably started. They're like, all right, let's just make them metal and let's paint them. And sometimes they're going to be gray, sometimes they're going to be black. And then, I don't know, now they're just kind of like in a weird state. Like sometimes they re release the cars as unibody, sometimes they release them with the plastic windows. I don't know. There's a lot of next gen variants out there for sure. Mattel never wants to stay consistent with them for some reason. Anyways, on this side, it looks to be the exact same to me. He's got his little exhaust on the bottom. Well, he's got that on both sides. I just forgot to mention it. And I noticed on the artwork, technically, this Carbon Cyber logo on the bottom is not in the right spot because, I don't know, I guess it's just the way it's translated to a diecast. Technically, this exhaust should be like higher, but it wouldn't work because then it would like be in the number. And then this Carbon Cyber logo should be like all stretching throughout, like this entire length here on the side. So I don't know. It's inaccurate, but it's fine. And also his wheels are just kind of boring. They're just black, but that's how they're supposed to be. So I mean, you know, who do you fault for that? Really, no one. I don't know if he'd look good with metallic or green or whatever colored wheels. I think maybe metallic blue wheels would look cool, but I don't think he'd be the first next gen to have those. So I guess it wouldn't be that original. And then on the back, he does have his rookie racing stripes and a little bit more metallic blue just on half of the back, but it looks very nice. The lighter cyan blue lines going through it. 67 on the left, carbon cyber on the right. Very hard to make out that decal there, but it's fine. The 67's good, but the carbon cyber is just extremely difficult to see. Then you can see his taillights back there. Very, very nice. And the spoiler is, I feel like it's a little higher than most. Yeah, it definitely is. I think he shares, I didn't bring him out, but I think he shares the same spoiler as Ryan inside Laney, I believe. It's definitely nicer than some of these ones, like Nick Schiff's, which is just so flat. It's like a wing, really. It's not even really a spoiler. And I don't know, this one looks more like a spoiler to me. Here he is next to Mafasfong's. More similar, but still his is way taller. That's a cool one. I think it is the same as some others that we've seen before. I can't think of exactly what one. Maybe, I think, yeah, Ryan inside Laney. I'm pretty sure he shares the same spoiler as him. Actually, let me go get Ryan inside Laney. 1 second. All right, I got him. And yeah, look at that. It is the same. Well, for the most part, it's just kind of Thailandified. You can definitely tell it's supposed to be the same, though. So that's cool. Yeah, just wanted to prove that. I do love Ryan inside Laney. I don't care how many times they re-release him. He'll always probably be my favorite next gen. But Jim Reverick is definitely really cool too. I like him a lot. I don't know. I'm a little disappointed with those eyes being so yellow, but apparently it is a variant. It's supposed to be like that, so I'll try to let it go. P28A is the date stamp, so the 28th day of 2021. Yep, that would make sense. And then, wow, that's weird. Yeah, that is really weird. Look at that. The base color for him looks to be like silver. Wow, because if you look like in there, it'd be hard to see because the shadows, but like under his wheel wells and everything, like that's silver paint. So, and then right here, you can really tell, completely silverized. Wow. So I guess Jim's base color is silver. That's kind of weird because he doesn't really have a lot of silver on him. So I guess like the logos and everything, like that's space color. Wow, that's weird. That is really cool. Well, I'm sure primer is probably the base color, but this is like his color over the primer, I guess, the first one they put on. That's why the green, I don't know, it's not bad, but it doesn't really look pure. Like you can almost see the silver coming through at some parts. But I don't know, I don't want to complain about Jim. He's awesome. I like his expression too. Didn't really point it out because I don't know. Next gen's always had this pretty much the same expressions. Not always though. I mean, it's funny because race cars, even the stock cars, they've always had like the same expressions. You know, there's only like three different ones for the most part, but then they really are all unique. Like most of them aren't exactly carbon copies of each other. Most of them are a little bit different. But I don't really have a whole lot to compare Jim to, unfortunately. So I think that's going to be it. I mean, I could show you him next to every single next gen, but it wouldn't really be probably worth your time. I mean, I guess I'll show him next to the other 2021 next gens because Nick Shift here was brand new to the year, just like Jim. I forget what case. I think maybe I'm not even going to try to guess. I don't remember, but some case in the middle of the year. The Fast Fong was also new, but it's just funny to see, how a brand new car can either become very rare or very boring really fast and very much so a peg warmer. And that's what happened to the Fast Fong and Nick Shift, unfortunately. Neither one of them has ever really gained any value, but Jim certainly it did, for sure. It's funny, though, because they're both released in the same year. You know, they both had the same chances of being rare. Kind of, not really, because it all depends on how much they released them, how many cases and everything. And for Jim, it was only one time, and they never did him again. So obviously, because he was, really so late in the year. So I guess it makes sense. Anyways, let me know what you think of Jim down in the comments section below. I absolutely love this guy. I think he looks amazing. Probably one of my favorite next gens, like definitely in the top 5. But flipped over, yeah, flipped over is my favorite. What am I saying? But Ryan Inside Laney is really awesome too. I know he's just more common, but still, I do love his design. And I also love Sheldon Shifter. I can't forget about him. I do love Sheldon Shifter's design. But Jim definitely comes in probably around 5th place for me if I had to rank them all, which I had done before. But I don't think that rating was really completely accurate. And I just kind of did it on a whim. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys next time right here on the Cars Garage.